Hello Capricorn, and welcome to your timeless reading from the Divine. So as we always do, we get our subject matter from the Divine. So let's get started. Divine, what is the subject matter of this timeless reading for Capricorn? What do you want Capricorn to know in this reading? What is this reading all about for Capricorn? Okay, so your reading, Capricorn, is all about, let's get this card focused, selling out. Ooh, Capricorn. All right. What are you selling out on, Capricorn? I'm playing. So we'll always get the Divine to clarify this message about selling out, and let's find out what is happening. Divine, you gave Capricorn the card selling out. Can you elaborate? Can you clarify that card for us? What is that all about? What is selling out for Capricorn all about? What is that message? All right, so Capricorn, as I'm shuffling these cards, I just want to let you know that these readings are generalized, so take what resonates with you, leave what doesn't, because that's going to resonate with someone else who is watching this video. If you can remember to have a look at your sun sign, your moon sign, and your ascendant sign, because by doing so, you get a much clearer picture of the reading. You get a fuller, personalized reading. So these are the cards that we have, and Capricorn, we always get the Divine to close off our reading for us. Okay, to give us that final message. So Divine, what is the final message that you want Capricorn to take away from this reading? What is that final message for Capricorn to close off this reading? And we have our card. We will look at that card at the end of this reading. So, selling out. You are starting off this reading with one of my favorite cards, Capricorn, is the 10 of Pentacles. And the 10 of Pentacles, as you can see, this card is a wonderful card because it really sees you happy, joyous, your family's happy, everything is good, financially, health, it's all going really good. And the Divine here, remember, we started off with our card selling out. So Capricorn, you have a very important message that is coming out for you right now. The Divine is asking you to look at how you spend your money, because you are in that energy of saying that I haven't got enough. And the Divine is saying nonsense. Actually, you do have enough. What we need to address is how you spend your money. What are the things that you're spending your money on when you should be saving that money? When you should be growing your money for future generations? When you should be growing your money so your tomorrow is not filled with stress and worry because you are buying things that you can't afford and putting those on credit cards, or putting those on a loan. When the Divine is saying to you, do you realize that by doing that, you are selling yourself out because you are making yourself a slave? How? Because when you go and get loans, when you go and get debts that you can't finance, when you are putting everything off into the future, you end up paying more money than if you paid up outright. So the Divine is asking you to deploy the energy of understanding that you have enough. You have enough abundance. You have enough of everything that you need. But there is a kink in your thinking. The way that you think is causing you to feel that you haven't got enough. And in feeling like you haven't got enough, this is when you are selling yourself out and going and getting debts and going and buying that car that you can afford. If you cannot afford to pay cash, then you can't afford it. Deploy the energy of discipline. Deploy the energy of waiting until you can go and pay cash. Because by doing so, you are not having to go and work so much more, many more hours to finance that debt, to pay off that loan. So this is how you are selling out to yourself, to your family. You're doing overtime. You're working a lot harder when you should be out here enjoying life with your family without needing to do that overtime. How can you live your life within your means? You don't need to show off to anyone. Stop selling yourself out to impress other people who don't really even care. Live within your means, and in doing so, you will see that your finances will start growing a lot faster than going and putting everything on credit. So the divine, by speaking to you about selling out, is really speaking to you and asking you how you can stay away from instant gratification. You get ants in your pants, you get really excited about buying something, you buy it, you're excited for a day or two, and then that instant gratification feeling is gone. And then you're out buying something else, and on and on and on it goes. But truly what is happening is that you are selling yourself out. You are selling yourself short to your family, to yourself, and to future generations. The divine is really here emphasizing this message, Capricorn, because Capricorn, you're very good with money. But the problem is instant gratification, wanting to look as if you're doing better than you truly are, wanting to impress your friends, your family, whoever you're trying to impress. But look at you. Look at the reality of what is going on. This is the picture that is underneath all that surface of just going and blowing all your money. So deploy the energy of the 10 of Pentacles, because the 10 of Pentacles speaks about building wealth, generational wealth that's going to last for a long time if you stay away from instant gratification. So the divine here is asking you to bring this energy of balance. Whenever you are feeling like you need to go and get that instant gratification injection, how can you be the temperance? How can you balance your feelings of wanting to go and spend what you don't have? So the divine is asking you to go and start either connecting to your guides, to your ancestors, and saying to them that I have this problem. How can you help me overcome this problem? If I'm about to do something stupid, send me a sign. Start communicating with your guides so that they can bring in an energy of protection. The Temperance is a really lovely card because it asks you to find your center. It asks you right now to sit down with yourself and ask yourself, what are my values? How can I have balance in my life? Looking at the past, what lessons have I learned? And going forward, what habits can I start implementing so that I can be happy with what I have? And how can I deal with temptation when instant gratification is starting to tempt you and allure you? How can you bring in that energy of saying, no, this is what I can afford to go out. I can afford this. And in that feeling, how can you balance yourself so that you don't feel disappointed, so that you don't have that feeling that life is not that interesting, it is boring, it is grey and dull, when truly it's not. It's just the way that you're used to thinking. So the divine is asking you to start employing this energy of the Temperance, understanding what you can afford and what you can't afford, and how you can bring in this energy of being centered, of being balanced, of being grown up, financially mature. And so we are seeing here, we have the King of Swords. And the King of Swords is a wonderful energy because the kings are powerful, the kings are authoritative. And so to your family, you might have to start communicating that, hey, you know, the way we have been treating our finances, we need to really start reconsidering. We need to start thinking about ways where we can change things up. Because if anything changes, if you were to lose your job, if your partner was to lose their job, if your financial situation was about to change, what will you do? So now you're here as the king, taking charge of this important situation in your family, in your life, and then communicating that with wisdom, with clarity, with authority, really emphasizing the importance of not spending more than you can afford to spend. Again, the motto is going to be, if we can't pay cash, we are not buying it. And the kids might be upset, your other half might be upset, but over time, they will see the method in the madness and they will understand why it is important. Because going forward, life is getting more and more challenging and it's not about to get any easy anytime soon. So the more you can start really thinking about your finances and getting really wise about your finances, the better it will be for you. And we're seeing that the next card brings about swift changes. So as you're hearing this message, the divine is saying that a penny is, boom, dropping. And you're actually understanding on a soul level the importance of implementing the information that you're hearing here. In your soul, does this ring true? In your ego, you might be defensive because of course your ego wants to have the nice things. It wants to live the life. Of course, it's understandable. But deep down in your heart and in your soul will always recognize truth and wisdom. And if this message is making sense to you, you are going to be making swift changes around your life that are necessary. And not only that, the divine is gifting you this energy of the Ace of Wands. And the Ace of Wands is a wonderful energy because it brings in that clarity. So now you are having clarity around your finances, around the things that you love, around that instant gratification. And you're bringing in swift changes to make sure that you can burn all these chains that you are creating for yourself. The divine is here saying that you are unintentionally making yourself a slave without even realizing. You have to work a lot harder to pay off all those debts. And if things were to change, you find yourself in a really difficult position. And so making these changes swiftly is something that the divine is gifting you so that you can start burning those chains that are keeping you enslaved through the way you are thinking, through the way you are running your life. The divine wants you to be free, to live life like we all should. Free, happy, joyous, full of life. And if that just means making a few changes here and there, make those changes and you see that these chains around you, your mind, are going to start getting burnt away and you are going to start feeling free and free and free as a bird. So our final card from the divine is saying, Capricorn, it is time to dance with life. Dancing with life is free. It doesn't cost anything. Enjoying life, going out in nature, is free. It doesn't cost anything. So the divine is asking you here to dance with life. Do something to change your energy. So as you are hearing this message, you might be feeling a little bit disappointed, a little bit grey, like what is the point? Because I am in so much debt. But the divine is saying that the first way of changing things is acknowledging that the problem is there. And then when you acknowledge that that problem is there, you can start making those changes that you need to make. And in doing that, you are going to soon be dancing with life because you find ways of enjoying life, ways that don't cost anything, ways that make you feel free. You're no longer enslaved by instant gratification. You're no longer enslaved by the way you were thinking in the past. So Capricorn, this is the reading that I have. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, comment, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. On that note, I'm going to see you soon. It's a goodbye.